The 3DS has a lot of homebrew, with some of it being hit or miss, so in this video, I'm going to show off some cool games on the 3DS, and I'm going to go over a couple that you might want to try. And so the first homebrew game I wanted to show off is Garry's Mod 3DS. Now when this game first came out, it was created by a different developer. It had a ton of problems, and after a few months, the project ended up being abandoned, which kinda seemed like the end of Gmod on the 3DS. Yet as of the past year, a person by the name of Demalade, however you say it, they created a new, more optimized version of Garry's Mod, which he uploaded footage of on his YouTube channel. Upon seeing that video, I was somewhat skeptical, but after finding a download link for that homebrew game and trying it out myself, I was pretty impressed by how well it ran. Now granted, there are still a lot of bugs, and I did experience a few crashes here and there, but I can easily see this game becoming a lot more viable in the near future, so while there isn't much to say about it right now, it's a cool addition to the homebrew library, and I look forward to what it becomes. And so the next homebrew title I wanted to show off is Super Mario Expedition. This one's a mod for Super Mario 3D Land that is a standalone game featuring one new world with custom levels. Each level is not that difficult, but some of them do a good job at showing off different mechanics that didn't get much attention in the original 3D Land game. In terms of the highlights for this mod, I'd say it's the layout of the levels, as each one offers a different set of challenges or mechanics to play with. For me personally, I thought the fourth level with the time switches was a lot of fun, and I also really enjoyed using the boomerang on the ropes, even if it was kind of buggy at times. Overall, it's a pretty short mod, and like I said before, it does only add one new custom world. Still, it's really well done, and there's also now a Super Mario Expedition Part 2 out, so if you wanted to expand your Mario 3D Land horizons, both of these expansions are a great way to do that. But speaking of expanding your horizons, do you like Animal Crossing New Horizons? Well then you might like Animal Crossing Welcome Luxury. It's a mod for New Leaf which adds a ton of new features and items into the game, recreating a good portion of its content. Now truthfully, I don't really like Animal Crossing that much, and I haven't played the series since the DS days, and even maybe the Wii days, but the mod still has a really strong community and tons of frequent updates, so I felt it had to be put into this video just based on that alone. All in all, Welcome Luxury is a very welcome addition to the homebrew library, and I'd say it's a must play for anyone who liked New Leaf on the 3DS. And so moving away from Animal Crossing, I thought it would only be fitting to include a game that is a little more fast-paced, and that is CTGP7. Now for starters, this is my favorite homebrew mod on the 3DS, and I am definitely biased when I say that. CTGP7 is a massive expansion onto the base Mario Kart 7, bringing over online multiplayer, new maps, new characters, and a bunch of other features. It basically reinvents the entire game from the ground up, and it makes it so you can still enjoy Mario Kart 7 even after the closure of the online servers, which, speaking of the online servers, is probably the highlight of this mod because of the recent update which was added that now allows for voice communication in the game. Granted, you do have to install an external application onto your PC for that to work, but once you get it going, it's a lot of fun, especially with friends. So I'd say if you enjoy Mario Kart at all, you absolutely have to try this mod out, as it's a ton of fun and it's easily one of my favorite things to do on the 3DS. Coming in next, this homebrew title is definitely also well known, and that's Five Nights at Freddy's 1 Remastered. Now I'm not a Five Nights at Freddy's fan at all, but have been told by countless people online that this is the definitive way to play the original. So after a little bit of hesitation, I did eventually give it a small playthrough, and honestly, I was pretty impressed. The game is very well tuned for the 3DS, and the use of the touchscreen for switching between cameras is really well suited for the gameplay. On top of that, the game also claims to have improved graphics, sound, and AI, which definitely makes this remaster a solid way to try out the game portably. Its overall rating on GameJolt is a 5 out of 5 based on 55 reviews, so if you wanted to play FNAF on your 3DS, this is probably a match made in heaven. And so keeping with the grim horror theme, kind of, the next game is Quake 2. This one really surprised me, mainly because of how good it looks. I'd went into it expecting a mediocre port, but I was pleasantly surprised when I saw how well tuned the game is. is. It includes a lot of small features, with probably the biggest one being the ability to use the C-stick for aiming and the addition of both multiplayer and mod functionality. Now, with all of that said, it is important to know that before you go and download this mod, it does require the base game files, which are obtained by purchasing the official game on your PC. So while other mods usually don't have that requirement, I really don't see it as a downside, and for the people who like Quake, this mod is going to be a really good choice. And so the last homebrew game I wanted to show in this video is Super Mario Bros. 2 Next. This is a mod for Super Mario Bros. 2 that features a lot of new content in terms of all new levels, soundtracks, enemies, mechanics, and so much more. It's also important to point out that a lot of the maps are fully 3D modeled, and there are a ton of smaller features that really make the game replayable. The final experience honestly just ends up feeling like a whole new Super Mario Bros. Game, and I found myself at times forgetting that this was even a mod. Also, one thing I really wanted to point out, which makes this game rank very highly for me, is the fact that there have been added versions of this game, such as a Halloween and tropical version, which both add one new world of themed content. Overall, this mod has a lot of passion and quality put into it, so if you're a fan of 2D platformers or you just like Mario, I'd say it's worth a go. And those are all of the games for now. Recently, I got my loopy capture card installed on my 3DS, which was pretty expensive, but I've been capturing lots of footage and trying out new titles to recommend to people, so trying to get my money's worth out of it. Still, I'm always missing stuff, so if you've got any recommendations, please shout them out down in the comments below for me and others to check out. And well, as always, I want to thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you like my kind of content, and with that said, I hope you have a terrific day or night. See you later.